Alright, so this is just a little quick video on how I got this adaptive cruise control working. So I got the cruise control off of a 2019 Ford Fusion. And the cruise control basically, I got the cruise control module in the bracket. It just kind of sits right along here. And I had to wire it up. There's a main wiring harness. You'll have two wiring harnesses, one for the fog lights and the front park sensor, and another one for the actual engine wiring harness that has the power can lines and the ground. So that's how I spliced my cruise control module into the main wiring there. But on the 17 and the newer Fusion, they have I think I forgot what they call it. Basically, it also runs off of another CAN network, which is for the rear view mirror, which is that forward collision warning. So I had to run basically. I got the two CAN line connected to that wiring harness there, the power and ground. I got a ground just sitting right over there for temporary. Then the other two CAN line wires for the rear view mirror. I know this ain't the best way. This is just temporary. Then when I get some more free time, I'll actually put some stuff on it, felt tape, and tuck it up against the firewall. Therefore, it's not around this hot engine, because this is also not the best way to do it. But anyways, after that, I got the cruise control. Also, you have to get a cruise control switch, which will look like this. So basically, to do that, you have to pull the airbag out, pull this whole steering bezel trim. I know you can't really see it. See if that helps. There you go. After you get the airbag out, you pull off this bezel piece that holds your switches in place. Then your switch is actually held in by two bolts. I think they're Torx, if I want to say. Then take the old one out. I believe I have a video showing how to do it. Put your new one in. Now you will need to enable with FORScan, so you'll need to enable adaptive cruise control for the speedometer, for the steering column, and for the body control module. And you'll also, this is what really got me, you also have to physically replace the whole ABS pump module assembly. So that's the pump itself and the actual module that's behind the actual ABS pump. So now that was such a headache. I just got mine installed today. I had a friend of mine help me out. It took a total of 4 hours to do it, because you got to take this all this air box off. I know you can't see. I probably should have done it when it was a lot lighter, but you got to take this air box off, the air hose. You got to take the battery off, the battery tray. There's another plastic piece further back with two 13mm bolts. You got to take that out. And way back there, you ain't gonna see it, but behind this battery, I want to say right about here is the ABS, where it sits underneath this wiper cowl panel. Now that's got total of what, 6 lines, and it was a real pain in the butt. I was able to get it disconnected, the electrical connector, and I had to disconnect all 6 of those brake lines, which that's what took the longest, because I did not have really a line wrench for it. I just had to use a regular 13mm wrench, and there's very little playroom. If you look on yours, you don't got much playroom from the brake reservoir to your strut tower, so there ain't much playroom with it. I had to kind of finagle with it, pop some of the brake hose clamp out of the way so I can pull the ABS pump towards me more closer, and so I can get those brake lines off of there. But it took a total of like 4 hours to do all that. I had also, after I got the new one installed, I had a program with my VIN number, and I had to enable the adaptive cruise control, and I think the collision with braking, I would have to look back on it. But I got like an error message, something about incompatible. So I had to do some studying with another 19 Fusion on there, and load its factory as-built data, then put my VIN number into it. Then I still got the error code. I'm thinking, okay, well, hopefully it's not a defective pump on there, because I spent 4 hours putting it in, and I don't want to spend another 4 hours taking it back out, putting my old one back in. But anyways, I was doing some studying. I finally got the code to clear away. Now my cruise control actually works, because I guess since the ABS pump is not registering with the cruise control module, I disabled the regular cruise control and the adaptive. So I had to go into the ABS, fiddle around with that as-built data. I went into the cruise control module, fiddle around with that as-built data. Then finally I just went into the easy mode, and you just try to enable or disable one thing at a time till it actually finally let me turn on the cruise control. So when that happened, I knew I was golden. I knew I was ready. So I finally took it out on a spin, out on the public road. I had it up to 50 miles an hour. I had a car stop in front of me. It went from 50 down to like 30, braked quite hard, so I knew it was working. So I took it back on another open road and followed the car for at least 3 miles with adaptive cruise control. I had it set to, let's say, 60. It's going about 30 because the car in front of me is going 30 miles an hour. So the cruise control obviously sits in front of here, and it's sending a signal out, and it's detecting a car that's in front of you. So it's going to maintain that speed what the car is, therefore you not too close or you not too far. And you can adjust let's see if I can show you on there. So basically, I'm gonna kill the lights. Nice music. Anyways, let's see, I guess I could turn on the headlights so you can see what you have to do. What I had to do, hit on. That sends a signal there, and you can see the little 3 lines. Let's see, hold on. Off and on, and you can see the 3 little lines. So I got mine furthest apart, so that's going to keep a little bit more distance away from the car in front of you. Then, if you want to get closer to the car, this little button right here, it's obviously pretty simple, away and closer. If you want to be closer to the car, ride their tail, just push that up button. You see the little lines disappearing. And that's as close as you can get. So that will be right on their bumper, which I haven't feel confident yet to have it on that setting yet. I've done it to 2 dots. Is the closest, I think, either that or I think 3 dots on it, just to test it out. And so far it works the way it should. And it will show you up in front, don't know how well, it ain't gonna show now, but right in front of that, see if I can get my big finger out of the way. Right in front of those 3 little lines up front, where that little gap is, just an open space, it'll actually show like a back end of the vehicle when the cruise control see the car in front of you. When that car pulls away, like off the road, or you go around it, and there's no cars in front of you after you turn, go into the next lane, it'll disappear. Then once when another car gets in front of you, it'll show the back end of a car, showing that, hey, it sees the car in front of you. And you'll also see down on the speed limit, not speed limit, the adaptive cruise control, obviously it'll show you what your cruise control set is. I do have a video posting as we speak on how it's working. So I had mine set to like 30 or whatever. And the car in front of me is going like 25. So my car maintained at a speed at 25 miles per hour, because that's what the car is going at in front of me. So that's basically how I got the adaptive cruise control working on the car. Just with the wirings on the side, run the wires through there. I know you guys won't be able to see it, but down in the bottom, let's see if I can back out. Right about there, there's going to be a big wiring adapter that I just poked the wires through. I had to go to the glove box. I had to pull the whole glove box out and pull the wire from outside through and splice into that main connector where that rear view mirror wiring harness that runs up along here to your rear view mirror. I had to splice into those 2 can lines for the mirror. That adds that forward collision warning. So when the car in front of you brakes and you don't brake in time, it will automatically apply the brakes for you. I've had that actually, I don't know why it's showing blurry. I've had it happen, I think, 3 times where there's one car that's taking a right turn, and I did not apply the brakes right away. It turned my music almost completely off, and it did like a chime on my speedometer, ding, 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 or something like that, to let me know, hey, you're about to rear end somebody, and it will automatically apply the brakes to prevent you from rear-ending or to prevent less damage upon rear-ending. So that's just a little quick video on how I got my adaptive cruise control working. So then I got that, obviously, I think I showed in the other video about the rear view mirror It's got the lane departure, auto high beams. So when I start to drift off into the lane, into the next lane, it'll actually steer me back into my lane. Or I can have it set up where if I don't want it to automatically pull, I can have it just where it lurches, where when I start to drift off, the whole steering wheel will shake, kind of to wake you up, hey, you're about to drift off. So that's just a little quick video talking of how I added the adaptive cruise control and how I got it working.